Hello guys, welcome back. How are guys doing during quarantine time? I'm really curious. Well, I'm here to talk about something that has been on my mind ever since I started watching BLs. Like, don't get me wrong, I love BL shows, and I even have a couple of books myself. However, there is one thing that always bothers me about BLs, and even my faves have it. I want to talk about the normalization of rape in these dramas, as well as the normalization of stalking, and for the victim to get blamed meanwhile the attacker doesn't get punished and is let free. For example, Love by Chance. Now don't get me wrong, and don't send hate towards Mame please. But I just absolutely hate the character of Kenkla. He is manipulative, a rapist, and stalker. The things he did to Techno are unforgivable. You can argue that in the book Techno did say he liked it while they were having the intercourse. But you have to remember that Techno was drunk. What makes it even worse is that in the book, Techno goes crying to Type and tells him everything Kenkla did, and Technic was involved. That is another point. Technic literally just let it happen. Like he did nothing to help his brother, even though he had previously said that his brother is quite stupid / isn't the smartest person. And the fact that Kenkla tried to play it off and even played himself as the victim is even worse. I love Mark Seward, but the character he played is just a horrible one. And then you're going to tell me that Kenkla and Techno end together? Absolutely unacceptable. That would never happen in real life. Techno would have trauma, and this should not be used to romanticize gay dramas. It should be banned from even being acceptable as to making two people become a couple. Kenkla doesn't even have to face the consequences, how reality, and he gets to keep the boy. I have a really big issue with this, but I can't change the book. It was written how it was written. Although, I do hope to see more relationship development between the two. Not just "oh I raped you," but I'm going to make it seem like you raped me. So now I'm going to keep you as my boyfriend. I still don't agree with anything that happened, but based on the person who wrote it and their other work, it seems like that would be what would happen. Now please, I still do recommend Love by Chance. A and Pete are an amazing couple, as well as Tin and Can. I love Earth and Title. I just don't know how to feel about the step-sibling dynamic that their characters Tum and Tar play. It doesn't take the fact that I still hate the character Kenkla though. Moving on to example number 2, Tharn Type. Once again, please do not send hate to the show or to Mame. I love Tharn Type just as it is, but there is one thing that I'll never forgive. Now if you didn't know, Tharn Type is set to take place before Love by Chance, so we get more insight on the character Tharn, Type, Tar, Tum, Techno, Champ, and one you probably never heard before, Lang. The show gives more insight on how Tharn and Type got together, as well as Tar's rape. If you didn't know, Tar was raped, which is why he acts the way he does in Love by Chance. However, we never get any insight on what happened to him in Love by Chance, and this show opened a lot of doors. The thing that bothers me about this show is the character Lang. He is Tharn's best friend, who is always by his side, even when he has his breakups. Now, what you probably didn't know is that Lang has had a crush on Tharn for the longest time. However, Tharn has never seen him this way and merely thinks of him as a friend. So when Tharn starts dating Tar, yes they did date. He gets so jealous that he does something unspeakable, something so disgusting. He sends a group of men to rape Tar, he gets him drunk, and then they proceed with the deed. The worst part wasn't that Tharn and Tar's relationship was ruined because of this, but actually the fact that Lang never got reported to the police for paying those men. He even made the men record what they did to Tar in order to blackmail him. And Tar would just blame himself and say how he didn't deserve to he loved. It wouldn't be as bad, but the fact that Lang never got the true ending he deserved, which shall be electric chair. No, it gets worse. Mame tried to make it seem like he was a victim because of his past. That no one paid attention to him, and that's why he is the way he is. Absolute nonsense. Lang should have been punished. And also the fact that he manipulated Thun, and the fact that Thun's brother Akathorn just forgave Lang so easily. Disgusting, but aside from that, the show was decent, and it did give a lot of backstory that we didn't get in Love by Chance. Moving on to example number 3, 2 Moons 2. Now you might be wondering, well, why is this included? It is one of the most wholesome shows. Well, let me tell you, my friend Fourth made it not be wholesome. Now yes, come at me and say all you want that, oh, but Beam was begging for him to do him. Yes, I know. I've read all the books around 70 times and watched both season 1 and season 2 around 100 times just so I could have enough research for this. And I found out it is just like all the other cases. I'm seeing a pattern here, and I just wanna say, rape doesn't only happen when you're drunk. But anyways, yes, Beam was drunk. Yet Fourth still decided to continue, and again might fight back with, but Beam said he wanted it. However, once again, he was drunk. And Fourth repeatedly says how he's responsible, yet the moment someone is practically begging him, he does it completely ignoring the fact that the person is drunk. Now, I'm going to read something from the book. Chapter 33, even the sound of his voice, begging for forgiveness. Now if you're young and don't know what that means, basically Beam, after a while, was begging Fourth to stop. There you go, rape. But he made himself responsible and even took care of Beam. Now listen here. He did, but what was he doing? Courting is the word people use, but honestly you could tell Beam was not interested, at first. He did fall for Fourth, of course. However, he didn't like the idea when Fourth yelled at him and said to be his wife. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's just an episode after. Beam's med class is talking about depression, while the screen is on Beam. Depression is part of the post-rape syndrome. So yes, 2 Moons 2 does indeed have rape in it, and it uses it in order for Fourth and Beam to get together. Wait, I'm not done. Park is also a big problem. Going into someone's dorm at night and leaving a goddamn hickey on their neck without their consent. Then take a picture and print it out to use as blackmail. Disgusting. But once again, 2 Moons is a classic, so I can't be bothered to hate it. I just feel very uncomfortable when those scenes come up. The video is too long now, so I'm going to end it here. But do expect a part 2 soon as I'm done with all my schoolwork. Bye, love, Liz, and take care.